Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Adventures of Jacoby. I am the Winter Warlock with Storm Gaming Alliance, here for another episode in Skyrim. On the last episode, we completed the seemingly impossible task of, well, arranging a sort of tentative peace treaty between the Imperials and the Stormcloaks. We're actually going to be headed up to High Hrothgar.
You look like you might. I hear Radiant Raiments is a large selection.
Probably picked a bad place to stand, but nonetheless, we do have to head up to High Hrothgar to attend this peace council. And yeah, actually, that's what we're going to be doing in today's episode. Stay tuned. And welcome back on this glorious, beautiful day. You know what? We can do something about this. We are the Dragonborn after all. Let's just fix that. Middle of the night anyway, but let's be done with the rain. I do not feel like running around in the rain all evening. So yeah, I do believe that all that is left for us to do. Come on, Jacoby, there we go. All that's left for us to do is head over in that direction and meet everybody up for this peace treaty, this peace council between the Stormcloaks and the Imperial Legion that we were able to arrange on last episode.
Fight!
There we go. Put that away. Cool. So I'm just going to hop down here into the waterway here. See if I can break a leg. Nope. Lovely. And we're just going to start heading off over in this direction towards High Hrothgar. Shouldn't be anything too spectacular. Got some kind of like a ritual circle or something going on over here. Who knows? But yeah, we need to, oh, yeah, pissed off the mud crabs. But yeah, we sort of, we needed to put at least a temporary stop to, well, let's get this ready here. Actually, trolls hate fire. Well, that made short work of everybody there. Took care of the troll and that frostbite spider. But yeah, we needed to basically create a ceasefire, so to speak, between the two warring factions here in Skyrim, so that we would be able to capture a dragon, believe it or not, in Dragon's Reach. Jarl Balgruuf was a little hesitant on voluntarily having a dragon show up in his hold, in his keep, nonetheless, especially while there are wars going on. And right now, he's sort of not necessarily playing both sides. He's really playing neither side. And he's sort of in a little bit of, not necessarily indecision, but I guess inaction. It seems like amongst his, I don't know, his advisors, I guess, there seems to be a little bit of back and forth between, oh, this will make Ulfric Stormcloak think we're siding with the Imperials and he'll attack us. And then somebody else will say, oh, but if we don't do this, then Ulfric Stormcloak will think that we sided with the Empire and Ulfric Stormcloak will come and attack us. So basically they have sort of talked themselves into a good amount of indecision. But nonetheless, I need his castle. Hey, Morthal, we've never been here before. That's cool. We're actually not really going to stop in here and see anything. I'm just sort of heading in the direction that my map marker is taking us. And I probably won't stick around for this entire journey over here, but yeah, just, filling in the blanks. But yeah, we don't need to listen to whatever they're talking about. But yeah, so Jarl Balgruuf is sort of not even necessarily playing Switzerland. It's almost playing both sides and playing neither. So he wanted the Imperials and the Stormcloaks to agree to sort of a ceasefire, at least temporarily, so that he would be able to, so that we would be able to catch a dragon in his keep without upsetting either side of the war party, which frankly Jacoby really doesn't care about. I've got nothing to do with the Civil War. At this point, I'm not even sure that there's a lesser of two evils, if I'm going to be honest. We didn't have a great first impression of the Empire. Maybe not first impression, but at least in-game first impression. They just set us to the chopping block because we happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time, which was, I can understand they're a little skeptical. We were in the vicinity of Ulfric Stormcloak himself. And it probably just seems a little too perfect that, oh no, I'm nobody. I just so happen to be here. So to a certain extent, because of the bureaucratic nonsense, I guess I can sort of understand why they were unwilling to just let me go. But they could have imprisoned me. They could have captured me and, like I said, tossed me in a prison cell, questioned me, interrogated me, whatever, and sort of gotten to the bottom of it without just putting me to death. I mean, literally, Alduin showed up at the right time because the headsman was about to drop his axe on Jacoby's neck. And that was going to be the end of Jacoby before our story even began. Now, the Stormcloaks, on the other hand, well, I mean, there's plenty of bad things to say about the Stormcloaks. I also get where they're coming from. With the White Gold Concordat that was signed, banning the worship of Talos and bringing the Aldmeri Dominion into Cyrodiil and into the Empire. They were not big fans of that move, which interestingly enough, we found out that Ulfric Stormcloak himself was some of an ignorant helper to the Aldmeri Dominion anyway. So like an unwitting supplier of information. So he's really no better anyway. But most importantly, the Stormcloaks are a bunch of racist, close-minded bastards. And Jacoby really has no patience for that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, people are people, and humans really don't have a great track record of being a stand-up race as it is. And the Stormcloaks especially hate the, pretty much any elf. But they're against the high elves of the Aldmeri Dominion. They're against the dark elves, like in the city. They have a whole section called the Grey Quarter, where all the dark elves are supposed to live, and they're not even really like welcomed into the society there, which is pretty messed up. Honestly, that's pretty messed up. So Jacoby really has no desire to get involved in this civil war, because at the end of the day, this is sort of the way I see it, right? If the Stormcloaks win, they've won the battle. They've not won the war. Right? Like, we see Imperial soldiers here. But at the end of the day, if the Stormcloaks put a bad enough whooping on the Imperials, chances are... what do we have here? Chances are the Aldmeri Dominion is just going to invade Skyrim and take matters into their own hands. So and if... it's a similar thing with the Stormcloaks. If the Imperials beat the Stormcloaks, you can't really beat a novice conjurer, you can't really beat a rebellion. You can try to quell a rebellion, but at the end of the day, you're not going to really defeat the Stormcloaks. At least not insofar as sort of killing their ideology, if you want to look at it that way. Because for as long as people sympathize with the Stormcloaks, even if you were to kill Ulfric Stormcloak outright, you're still not going to bring peace to the hearts of those who sympathized with him. So civil wars in general are kind of one of those things where there is no real winner. Everybody pretty much just comes out a loser in the situation. And frankly, Jacoby doesn't really have the patience for that, really, because it's an unending battle. I mean, when you have a divided people, it is very difficult to reunite them under a single banner. Somebody is going to feel oppressed. You know what I mean? Like, somebody is going to feel oppressed. And it's not like the Imperials can be like, okay, you know what, fine, just worship Talos, do what you want to do in Skyrim. We'll stay over here in Cyrodiil and we'll leave you alone. Because frankly, the Empire doesn't even have the power to say that because of the White Gold Concordat. It's up to the Altmer, it's up to the Aldmeri Dominion, it's up to the High Elves at this point. And certainly the High Elves aren't going to allow the Nords here to worship Talos and just, let them do their thing. Of course they're not going to do that. If they were going to do that, they would have done it in the first place. So Jacoby really has no desire to get involved in the Civil War. If anything, it would be a temporary defeat or a temporary loss. I don't think, you've got to get to the heart and soul of the people to really solve a civil conflict like this. And I don't really see that being a possibility anytime soon. So yeah, this is the best Jacoby is going to do as far as the Civil War is concerned. We will order this temporary peace treaty. I'm not sure how much bureaucratic nonsense and red tape we're going to have to deal with while trying to... I'm sure that there's going to be some kind of agreements and arrangements that have to... they're just going to quarrel and quibble at the table anyway. But so far, we have at least been able to convince Ulfric Stormcloak and General Tullius to at least sit down and say, hey, at this point, the dragons are a problem for everybody. The enemy of my enemy type of situation. And the dragons really pose, now that they know that we're talking about Alduin, we're not just talking about the dragons returning is a big enough issue as it is. Like, just as a concept, that's a big problem, because they've been dead. I know you're not coming after me, right? You're just a hunter, right? Yeah, you're just a hunter. With a good puppy. Yeah, it's a good puppy. All right. But yeah, so we will see, I guess, what this peace council is going to be like. I don't know. I don't have terribly high hopes for the whole thing, but I guess we'll at least do our best to see what kind of arrangements we can come up with to at least, hopefully, at least temporarily stop the war. They know that Alduin, the return of Alduin anyway, is involved in the prophecy of the end times. So they've really got nothing to fight over if they continue to ignore the dragon problem. So we will draw their attention to the dragons, even if it's just for a little bit. And then, yeah, once the dragons are dealt with, I'm sure they will just resume fighting. I'm not even so sure that they will. I'm not even so sure that they will stop fighting in the first place, to be honest. But I guess there's nothing left to it but just to find out. So there is our, right up there at the crosshair is High Hrothgar. That is our target. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys up top. And welcome back. Here we are, High Hrothgar. Let's go see what these people are going to come up with. Hopefully this shouldn't be too, it's going to be bad, but hopefully it's not too bad. Like, it's just going to be the Dragonborn and the Greybeards mediating between Ulfric Stormcloak, probably an advisor, and General Tullius, with another advisor likely. So hopefully it's sort of a small group. We can just all sit down as grown-ups and get this figured out. On gear.
So, you've done it. The men of violence are gathered here, in these halls whose very stones are dedicated to peace. I should not have agreed to host this council. The Greybeards have no business involving ourselves in such matters.
Don't worry, I'll get them to agree to peace. Don't worry about it, Arngir. I would not bring danger here. Trust me. And believe it or not, you should know this better. Atop this mountain sits an ancient dragon. I think you'll be okay.
Peace? I doubt it. They may put their weapons down for a moment, but only to gather strength for the next bloodletting. They are not yet tired of war. Far from it. Do you know the ancient Nord word for war? Season unending. And so it has proved. But regrets are pointless. Here we are. Take your seat at the council table, and let us see what wisdom we can find among these warriors of Skyrim.
Fair enough. Honestly, you bring up good points. I wholeheartedly agree. I don't necessarily think that we're going to come to a full peace agreement here.
So, Arngir, is it?
But we should at least try.
You know why we're here.
What?
Are you going to let us in or not?
You're not invited here. You're not welcome here.
We have as much right to be at this council as all of you. More, actually, since we were the ones that put the Dragonborn on this path.
Were you? The hubris of the Blades truly knows no bounds.
Delphine, we're not here to rehearse old grudges. The matter at hand is urgent. Alduin must be stopped. You wouldn't have called this council if you didn't agree. We know a great deal about the situation and the threat that Alduin poses to us all. You need us here if you want this council to succeed.
Very well. You may enter.
Delphine? Esbern?
What are we waiting for?
Okay. So I thought this was going to be a small meeting, but apparently Delphine felt the need to stick her nose where it doesn't belong. Another volatile member. Great. Great. Well, I'm already regretting this decision, but if it's going to bring down Alduin, then I guess there's nothing to it but to do it. Let's go find our seat.
Why delay? Please, take your seat so that we can begin. Now that everyone is here, please take your seats so we can begin.
Goodness, it is a lot of people here.
I hope that we have all come here in the spirit of...
You insult us by bringing her to this negotiation? You're Chief Talos Hunter?
That didn't take long.
Diplomat as usual.
I have every right to be at this negotiation.
I need to ensure that nothing is agreed to here that violates the terms of the White Gold Concordat.
Shoot, it's Elowin.
The Imperial delegation.
Elowin.
You can't dictate who I bring to this council.
Please, if we have to negotiate the terms of the negotiation, we will never get anywhere. Perhaps this would be a good time to get the Dragonborn's input on this matter.
By Izmir's beard.
Oh, goodness.
Nerve of those Imperial bastards, eh? To think that I would sit down at the same table with that. Thalmor bitch. Either she walks or I do.
Honestly, what's the harm? It's not like Tullius wants her to be here anyway.
Maybe so, but bringing her here is a deliberate provocation. Tullius needs to know I won't be pushed around.
Oh, goodness. I'm already on Elenwyn's bad side. I'm surprised that she doesn't have an assassin here to slit my throat. Listen, there's nothing... How could anything... No. Yeah, I think... Oh, boy. See, this is one of those tricky things, right? If I kick her out, then I'm just further down the shit list of the Thalmor. Not like I'm their biggest fan to begin with, but I don't... Fine. No, you know what? I'm already an enemy of the Thalmor. Let's just dig a deeper grave. I agree. She should probably go. This is between the Imperials and the Stormcloaks. Frankly, the Blades shouldn't even be here. With all due respect, Delphine and Esbern.
Well said.
Very well, Ulfric. Enjoy your petty victory. The Thalmor will treat with whatever government rules Skyrim. We would not think of interfering in your civil war.
Ha! Skyrim will never bow to the Thalmor.
Shut up,
Unlike
Galmar.
Imperial friends here.
You're lucky I respect the Greybeards' council, Galmar.
Legate, we represent the Emperor here.
Rika, sit down.
Sorry, sir. It won't happen again.
You're goddamn right.
Settled. May we proceed?
Yes, can we?
I have something to say first.
Of course you do.
Here we go.
You shut up.
The only reason I agreed to attend this council was to deal with the dragon menace. There's nothing else to talk about. Unless the Empire is finally ready to renounce its unjust claim to rule over the free people of Skyrim.
Shut your mouth.
We're here to arrange a temporary truce to allow the Dragonborn here to deal with the dragons, nothing more. I consider even talking to the Empire a generous gesture.
Yes, we are all... Oh, good. We are all sitting here to allow the Dragonborn to figure out a way to save the world. So you two can get back to fighting over who gets the red crayon. Oh. All right, back to it.
Are you done? Did you just come here to make speeches, or can we get down to business?
Yes, let's get this over with.
Are we ready to proceed? Jarl Ulfric, General Tullius, this council is unprecedented. We are gathered here at the Dragonborn's request. I ask that you all respect the spirit of High Hrothgar and do your best to begin the process of achieving a lasting peace in Skyrim. Who would like to open the negotiations?
Yes, let's get down to it. We want control of Markarth. That's our price for agreeing to a truce.
So that's why you're here, Ulfric? You dare to insult the Greybeards by using this council to advance your own position?
Jarl Elisif.
General, this is outrageous. You can't be taking this demand seriously. I thought we were here to discuss a truce.
Elisif, I said I'd handle it. Ulfric, you can't seriously expect us to give up Markarth at the negotiating table. You hope to gain in council what you've been unable to take in battle, is that it?
I'm sure Jarl Ulfric does not expect something for nothing.
Yes, that'd be entirely out of character.
Empire want in return?
Wait, General, you don't intend to just hand over Markarth to that traitor?
This is how the Empire repays us for our loyalty?
Enough! First, let's be clear. This council wasn't my idea. I think it's a waste of time. You are a traitor to the Empire and deserve a traitor's death. But I at least will negotiate in good faith. Since we're all here at your request, I'd like to hear what you think Markarth is worth.
Well. What do I think Markarth is worth? I'd say Riften. I'm not just gonna toss out Winterhold. Winterhold's sort of up and out of the way. And frankly, I don't think Jarl Ulfric Stormcloak would do very well by the folks of Winterhold, given the mages up there. So, yeah, you know what? You're kind of a scoundrel. How about you take Riften?
The rift would help secure our communications with Cyrodiil and threatened Ulfric's southern flank.
The Dragonborn has spoken, Tullius. Markarth will be ours. Now we'll see if there's anything behind your talk of good faith.
You disappoint me, Dragonborn. I accepted your invitation on trust in your good name. But it seems you intend to favor Ulfric.
Not even
I can
close.
see now that this is not a negotiation at all. I know you, Ulfric. If I hand over Markarth, you'll be ready with a new demand. You'll never defeat the Empire, and you know it. But you're willing to sacrifice thousands for your own selfish ambition. Soon enough, I'll have you back under the headsman's axe, and this time there won't be any dragon to save you.
As always, the Empire's fine words are worth nothing.
Stop! Are you so blind to our danger that you can't see past your pitiless agreements? Here you sit arguing about nothing, while the fate of the land hangs in the balance.
Is he with you, Delphine? If so, I advise you to tell him to watch his tongue.
He is with me. And I advise you both to listen to what he has to say before you do anything rash.
Don't you understand the danger? Don't you understand what the return of the dragons means? Aldrin has returned, the World Eater. Even now he devours the souls of your fallen comrades. He grows more powerful with every soldier slain in your pointless war. Can you not put aside your hatred for even one moment in the face of this mortal danger?
I don't know about the end of the world, but this dragon situation has gotten out of hand. If this truce will help the Dragonborn here put an end to that menace, we both gain. Remember that, Ulfric. Now, back to the matter at hand. You know as well as I do that we can't hand over Markarth on these terms.
Shores, bones, where will these demands end?
Out with it, then.
We want compensation for the massacre at Karthwasten.
You slaughtered the very people you claim to be fighting for. True sons of Skyrim would never do such things.
Damned Imperial lies. My men would never stoop to such methods, even in retaliation for
This
your
is our
butchery
homeland,
at-
Tullius. All the blood spilled in this war is on your head.
So, Dragonborn, what do you say?
Yeah, sure. Ulfric should compensate you for Karthwasten. I don't know what happened there, but you're unhappy, so sure, whatever.
Well said. For once you'll actually pay for your crimes. I suppose that's the fairest deal we're likely to get.
It seems we may have an agreement. Jarl Ulfric, General Tullius. These are the terms currently on the table. Markarth will be handed over to Ulfric's forces. Jarl Igmund will step down, and Thangvor Silverblood will become the Jarl of Markarth. The Stormcloaks will withdraw from the rift, allowing Imperial troops unhindered access. Jarl Lela Lawgiver will step down, and Maven Blackbriar will become the Jarl of Riften.
Ooh, that's
The
dangerous.
Stormcloaks will pay appropriate compensation for the massacre at Carthwayston. You both agree to this?
The Sons of Skyrim will live up to their agreements, as long as the Imperials hold to theirs. What about you, Elisif? Are these terms to your liking? Speak up! I'm sure General Tullius is waiting to do your bidding.
I have nothing to say to that murderer. General, you've proven yourself a good friend to Skyrim. I continue to trust that you will do your utmost to safeguard our interests.
Thank you, Jarl Elisif. I appreciate your loyalty. The Empire can live with these terms, yes, for a temporary truce, until the Dragon Menace is dealt with. After that, Ulfric, there will be a reckoning. Count on it.
Come on, Dalmar. We have a lot of work to do.
Giving up Markarth is a heavy price for this truce, Dragonborn. I hope it was worth it.
Jarl Balgruuf, I assume you are familiar with the Dragonborn's plan?
Yes, I'm ready to do my part. Just say the word, and my men will help you spring this trap.
But the difficulty remains how to lure a dragon to Dragon's Reach at all.
Well, that's an excellent question. You haven't overlooked that little detail, have you?
Ah, I believe I can be of help here. I anticipated the problem. While you were arranging this meeting, I was busy in the library of Skyhaven Temp, an unguessed trove of lost lore. But the important thing is that the Blades recorded many of the names of dragons they slew. Cross-referencing this with Delphine's map of dragon burial sites, I believe I've identified one of the dragons that Alduin has raised up.
Oh. Okay. So, yeah, what's the plan?
Don't you see? The names of dragons are always 3 words of power, shouts. By calling the dragon with a voice, he will hear you wherever he might be.
Well, we already know why he would come, because they're prideful.
He's not compelled to, but dragons are prideful by nature and loath to refuse a challenge. Your voice in particular is likely to intrigue this dragon after your victory over Alduin. I think it's very likely that he will be unable to resist investigating your call.
So, what's his name?
Ah, indeed. I'm no master of the voice, like these worthy gentlemen, but it is written here in this scroll. Oda Vin, winged snow hunter, as I read it.
I hope this truce gives you one. It won't last.
There's one thing we know about Parthenax.
You know what?
Parthenax, the dragon that the Greybeards have been protecting for all these years. He needs to die. He deserves to die. And it falls to you to kill him. Until he's dead. Well, I'm sorry, but we would dishonor our oaths as Blades if we continued to help you.
Wow. Yeah, I've got nothing to say to you. Your arrogance knows no bounds.
We have nothing to talk about until Parthenax is dead.
You have got that right.
Do the right thing. Parthenax deserves to die.
You had better get out of my face. Frankly, I have had enough with just about all of you. Arngeir. Oh, Einarth. Where's Arngeir? I need to go speak to this guy. Come on, where are you? Where'd you run off to?
We have nothing to talk about until Parthenax is dead.
Arngeir? Arngeir.
You did well here today. I don't think the truce will last long, but that will not be on your account.
Yeah.
Breath and focus.
Well, that's that's sort of the point here. You know, I don't really know how to... I need to clear my head from all of this. These ladies and gentlemen seem to have nothing but death and destruction on their mind, even people who I thought were my friends. Delphine and Esbern. They won't even help me now unless I kill Parthenax. Jarl Balgruuf thinks I made the wrong decision by handing over Markarth in trade for Riften and compensation for a massacre. General Tullius thinks I'm on Jarl Ulfric's side. Jarl Ulfric thinks I'm on, well, I don't know which is worse, him thinking I'm an Imperial sympathizer or if I'm a Stormcloak sympathizer. You're uncertain. You know, you had second thoughts about me bringing all these people here. I don't know, Arngeir. I'm trying to help people, you know? I'm trying to help people. We've got this Alduin problem. The end of times. What's a Dragonborn supposed to do, Arngeir? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's about as good a place as any to wrap up this episode. Thanks for hanging out. If you haven't already, please leave a like and a subscribe. We appreciate all the support you guys have been giving us so far. Definitely leave comments. We respond to all the comments, so it'd be nice to have a conversation with everybody. And I guess I will see you all on the next episode.